morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another amazing session over here. Man, I congratulate everyone who caught these cells on GPJPY before the stream. Couldn't miss it.
I know you got them.
Yeah, could not miss them at all. Man, they were so clean. I was also up at London session and saw the cells coming down as well. You know, because we were tapping into the support at 135, 950. Price came down and London Open just started continuing down. I got those cells and got the cells earlier on here as well before the stream. And now I think we should continue moving bearish here. I mean, if you look on the 4 hour just has this low here at 135 even that it needs to tap. I think we're gonna get it done today. Am I still holding? No. No, I closed. I want to ask you when it's not important that a candle have no wick at the bottom because I was scared to entry this trade and missed them. Yeah, so that was the 15-minute candle, and 15-minute candles have weak confirmations, right? 15-minute candles are weak confirmation candles. We really have to understand that. So, like, your entire basis was off of the 30-minute candle right over as we started breaking the low. So this analysis, I was 100% sure we're going to continue moving down. So like, experience plus your bias plus knowing how the pair moves at certain times of the day, it allows you to enter positions and to really anticipate price moving in that direction. This sell was around 135 350. It was a smaller lot. Yeah, 135 361. It was somewhere over here. As we started coming down, it was right over here, 135 361. That was an impulse entry. Stop was around like 15 pips. TP was around, to like, 200 here. I actually closed at like 135 255 when it got up to about like 10 pips. So I mean, even though the stop loss was a little bigger, but the momentum was coming down. I mean, it was just bearish, and when things are just bearish, it's just bearish, right? You just sell when things were just bearish. This morning, I broke a mental barrier, and I moved up to 25 lots. Man, I tell you, when that thing starts moving and the numbers start rolling, you're just like, holy, everything just goes up so fast. All right, let's take a look at, let's see here. Actually, you know what I want to take a look at? I want to take a look at gold here for a little bit. Gold is also trying to make that structure to continue down. It's just the fact that gold needs to close below 1877, and then you got clean traffic coming down towards 1871. What's it called when you get FOMO after a move has happened? It's called FOMO. It's basically called FOMO. Hey guys, I'm a newbie. Can someone give us any idea of how you guys do things? So basically, these streams, they happen every day at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Every day we go live. The best way to get advantage, the best way to get advantage of these streams is to post charts. When you post charts, we're gonna take a look at those charts, maybe give you some critique on your analysis, and kind of like guide you in the correct direction, like we try to. So that's how these streams work. So let's take a look at this gold idea over here. If 30-minute candle closed below the support, then look for sell on the next candle. You got clean traffic here, range is good. Take profit area right down over here. Yeah, I think this could work out if you do close below this area. I mean, the 30-minute candles are going to close in 21 minutes, so I think that's going to be, yeah, I think if they do close below 1876, we should continue to move down. So let's just wait and see what happens there. But as far as GBJPY goes, I think, man, we're just continuing down here. Straight down. If you look at this 1 hour candle and you look at the way how this 1 hour candle broke the previous 1 hour candle low, and when you take a look at the weekly candle, it's kind of like the same situation right over here. Weekly candle broke the low and now it's continuing down. Same thing right over here on the 1 hour candle. So I think we're going to come down towards 135 even here. Take a look at this chart here. I saw price rejecting area in 30-minute, close week bullish. Oh man, Leroy, I've been seeing you take this same exact trade, which is actually pretty good, because these situations, they keep on happening over and over again. Like, where price is trending hard, it forms. Oh wow, look at this. It's coming straight down to 135. Damn, crazy move here. Imagine I held my buys from 135, 755. From 755 all the way down over here. Wow. Would have been a great payday. I took a sell stop for GJ. This is how you would execute. Let's take a look at this chart. Kept stops above the last 15-minute candle. Sell stops are right over here. I think it could have been right below this wick here too. Like if you're going to put it down over here, it should have been below this wick. Because if we're breaking below the lows of the candles, then that means there's a high probability for price to continue moving. Okay, so in terms of news here, we got GDP for the USD, we got interest rates for the euro. I think this is going to be a pretty, man, euro interest rates, these will be wild here. So we're going to wait to see what happens in these euro interest rates here. USD GDP, it should move price a little bit. Again, we're going to see what happens. I think main mover is going to be gold here, so let's just wait. Hey, why are you up so early? No, we're not. We're up at the same time. This is the same time that we go live every day. Good morning, Raja, everyone. Here's my approach in GJ today. Any tips? Let's take a look over here. If you're not in a GJ sell at this point, you've basically missed the move. So went a little impatient with this one, took the trade, closed the rest as 25 pip profits. Very nice, beautiful. So now it should be coming down towards, like, you know, the higher time frame low. Actually, it's reaching that area at this point here too, right? Because if you look left, this is an area where price was kind of like consolidating, so it's reaching that low right over here. So if you're in this trade, I think it's a good idea to put stops at break even, or even trail the stops above the 30-minute candle and let the rest run. People are protesting about the virus in Italy. Do you think that will have a huge impact on euro? See, that's the thing. So let's take a look at your JPY here. And the reason I'm looking at your JPY here is because your JPY is only influenced by euro, right? So it's going to be much easier here. So let's take a look at on the 4-hour time frame. Looking left, we see, okay, let's start from the daily here. So daily, this was a level that we marked on yesterday, right here, where price should reach down, and it's continuing down to this level here. And if you look on the 4, so this is a rejection area right over here. Looking on the 4 hours as well, we're coming down to a support. Looking at the 1 hour, we're coming down to a support. So I think we'll need to see how price reacts in this daily level, right? Even though if you look left now, let's take a look left here in the 1 hour time frame. And let's see what market structure do we find. All right, perfect. So see where this red dotted line is? Red dotted line is where current price is right now. And this is the support level on the 1 hour time frame. So if I remove this and if I draw a zone based on the 1 hour time frame now, what you will see is that this is a support area we're coming down into. And this is at 121,950, right? Right here. This entire area is a support area. Below this, we have another liquidity area at 121,825. So I'm just going to leave them here based on the 1 hour time frame, and then we're going to go back right, and then we're going to see how price is reacting to these areas, right? Obviously price is coming down straight bearish. There's no buys over here, there's no sells at this point, because if there were sells, you basically missed the sells, right? So we're moving into a high volatile news event here as well in about I think 2 hours. So you'll have to wait and see how price reacts to that news event. From experience, what I've seen is that the euro interest rates, normally they've kept them the same all the time, and it depends what they say in the press conference, right? It depends there, but mostly what I've seen is whatever they say in the press conference, it's always moved euro bullish. So based on that, I mean, if you do move bullish from this point, I think that bullish move is going to be based on the daily support level here as well. Right, so for euro JPY, I would say wait for the interest rates, because I mean sales are already happening. If you're not in it, then you basically missed the trade. GPY is also coming down towards 135 even here. Man, beautiful move. I mean, as hard the first 2 weeks were on October, I think this last week has been way easy. It's been way easier than the first 2 weeks of October.
Roger.
Hello?
You are going to simulate breakouts this weekend, I believe.
No.
Or what was it? What we were going to do?
It's in the Slack announcements. We're basically having a
Yeah.
webinar on the 8th November. 8th November is next weekend.
Next weekend. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. I was wondering, because I thought the topic would be quite relevant to the market conditions we had in March. Would you be simulating that period?
It's not going to be similar. The market conditions are going to be very, very different, because in March we had the virus and it was the first wave of the virus. This time is going to be a lot different because I think the economies are well prepared for what's happening. Plus we got the elections, plus we got Brexit talks. So the market conditions are extremely different than they were in March. So
Okay. I thought it would be the same type of volatility.
yeah, we can never, I mean, it's very subjective, right? We can never pinpoint the volatility is going to be the same, because at the same time we're moving into the holiday season as well, so that's going to have an impact too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But the most important thing is going to be is like the technical factors. I mean, if we put more, if we take into account, like, okay, the volatility in March, it may be the same here. It's like the volatility is never going to be the same, because the market conditions are changing all the time. So it's always very, very different. But if we do simulate, I think it's better to only simulate, like, let's say till last year, 2 years, but nothing more than that, because, like, then you move into different market dynamics. Well, I think we've reached the low over here, 135, and these were the sells on DJ. So congratulations to everyone who held these sells. That was perfect. I think this was the trade here for this session, for price to come down to retest this low. This low was made yesterday in the New York session, and in this New York session we came down to retest that low. All right, let's take a look here. How does the holidays going to impact the market? Is it going to be less volume? It's really tough to say, because last year there was some sort of volume by the end of November. There was volume till mid-December as well, all the way up to the Christmas time. But this year it's very different, because not only you have the virus coming back in, you have elections here, you have holidays at the same time, you have Brexit at the same time. So there are a lot of things happening. So it's going to be, man, it's going to be pretty exciting to see what happens. I mean, in terms of volume and volatility, I think the kind of moves, if we keep having big candle moves, I think there's always going to be opportunity to make really, really good money. But at the same time, you'll have to be very, very disciplined as well. For a lot of people, this is the first time you're going to be moving into such, I would say exotic market environment, because I've never seen such type of markets in the last 4 years of my trading. And now, I mean, 4 years is not enough trading anyway. I think, like, if I traded for about 10 years, I would say, I'm a veteran. But 4 years is baby time. 4 years is just one president term, basically. So these are going to be my second elections. I'm going to be watching the charts. So it's going to be, I'm pretty excited. Lows of 1 hour, 30-minute support broken. Impulse trades could have been taken here. Also broke under no confirmations. 10-pip security break even. Beautiful. Kind of risky. Stop loss was there. It was managed. Still good. Continued to move down. All right, let's take a look here. Good morning, I'm a newbie here. Can you check my analysis if this is the right way, how to enter your strategy? I don't have a strategy, but let's take a look at this. All right. Bearish momentum stops over the wicks of the candle, time frame support, TP1 because many rejections to the left hand side. That's true. TP2, yep, it's pretty nice. Works out pretty good. Okay, we'll wait for a pullback. Yeah, this is the thing now, right? Price has reached the low at this point. I think for anyone who's looking for any trades, I don't think. See, looking at buys in a very, very strong bearish momentum is going to be very risky. I think a pretty good trade is going to be maybe a retracement. Like if price retraces, creates like a minor resistance, and then continues moving down. I think that's going to be something you should be waiting for. I won 3 trades today. I'm a happy man. I feel London is more for me than New York, than GJ. That's absolutely true. I was up at London session as well. I saw the people in Slack selling GJ in London session. I was like, okay, you know what? Let's take a part in this. Daily is coming down strong. What an analysis. This whole week I've been looking at sells. One issue was when this weekly candle wicked up a little bit higher, then I was like kind of like hesitant, like if we will continue falling or not. But once we broke below 136 and we were about to break below the weekly wick here, then it was like straight down. Even if you look at the monthly candle here now, monthly candle was also bearish, strong bearish candle. This is also coming down. This is going to be pretty interesting where this monthly candle closes. Both buy and sell analysis on played out perfect from Asian. Thank you, thank you. Oh, nice. That's beautiful. Here, JPY is also showing rejection here. We'll see what happens. Like, you know, I'm anticipating a bullish move on your JPY based on what I've seen before when it comes towards interest rates and the press conferences on the euro interest rates. And also technically, we're tapping into a daily support here as well on your JPY. So we'll see what happens if that's true or not. Are you going to take any trades in NY session? I'm not sure. Probably not. If I see some sort of a retracement and some sort of a minor resistance forming, then I'm going to look to take sells. But other than that, I'm probably not going to look for any trades in the New York session. Maybe, I don't know. I was about to say maybe buys on EJ, but then I'm going to be breaking my plan of trading something I don't trade. Yeah, probably not. Just gonna wait for some. Just gonna see if we form some sort of a support down here, and if we start breaking it, or if we form like a minor resistance to retest this low here again. Other than that, I'm just gonna be, yeah, just gonna wait here. Just gonna wait here to see how price action moves. All right, let's take a look at this chart coming in. This is waiting for price to go above the zone for potential buy. Price rejected the zone, looking for sells, came down, position opened over here. Ooh, 571, continue down, nice man. Beautiful chart, amazing labeling. This is an example of a very, very well labeled chart. Like labeling, like once you look at the chart, you can see exactly what this person means. Also right over here too, waiting for price to come to retrace a little bit, create like a minor resistance, and then continue down. I recently became a little bit profitable, and what I've realized so far is that I have to say no to a lot of opportunities and wait a lot. That's actually very true. That's something I've noticed here as well. I'm not going to say I'm the most profitable person, but let's say if I am profitable, and that profitability, I think I have to say that it's only because of the fact that I've started to say no to a lot of opportunities. Because, like opportunities in trading are just like certain opportunities you get in life, right? In life, you get a lot of opportunities, and then you learn to say no to a lot of opportunities. Because some opportunities may be good for you, some opportunities may be good for you now, but in the long term, they may not be good for you, So every day, I see a lot of opportunities to take trades, and I have to say no, and I just say no. So I think that helps your discipline as well. Hey, I'm new to trading. How do I know when it's best to enter a trade? I think if you're new to trading, this is not the best stream for you, If you're new to trading, the first thing you got to do is to go to www.babypips.com. This is the first place where you need to go. Babypips.com, you go over here, you go to education, you go to how to trade Forex, and then you go through these sections over here. So I don't know, for someone who's new, this is not the best place for you. In university, when you're in third year and fourth year in the final semester, and new students come to university in the first semester, and they come up to you and they say, hey guys, hey, can I hang out with you guys? And you're like, no man, this is not the place for you. This is not the place for you. You go hang out with your own people, the new people, not over here. Take a look over here. This is Euro USD coming down. Price broke support. Waiting for this 30-minute candle to close bearish under yellow line. Yeah. The only problem is these wicks right over here to the left-hand side. Because if a price came down, it saw this wick here to the left-hand side. That's a rejection. So that's why it might reject. So you might want to see some sort of retracement. Or I think for Euro, you might just want to wait for interest rates. I mean, they're not that far away. They're only like what? Like an hour and 45 minutes away. So I think you'll have to wait for that. Was there ever a mental barrier for you in regards to taking a trade within the first 15 minutes of getting into the charts? No, I think as time went by, so now normally I wake up at like 5:30, 5:45, and I've been doing this for the last 3 years, and every time when I'd wake up, I'd see that price would move with a lot of volume between 5:45 a.m. and 6:15 a.m., right? Like 15 minutes before we come on the live stream. I've seen that price moves that way. And then this morning, the same thing happened when we were breaking below 135.390. I saw that, like I visualized that in the Asian session yesterday, that if we do break below 135.390, 135.400, which was a strong support level, there's a very, very high probability price will continue down to retest this low. And that's exactly what happened. Like I woke up again in the pre-New York, I woke up at like 6 a.m. and saw price falling. I was like, okay, you know what? This is the opportunity to ride price all the way down towards my original analysis. And then the execution was there. So it took time. It took time. I think confidence comes from watching the same things happen over and over again. That's where confidence comes from, right? It's like when you try to ride a bicycle with no training wheels, like you do it once, you fall, you do it twice, you fall, you do it 3 times, maybe you don't fall, the 4th time you fall less. The 5th and 6th time you start getting the hang of it and you keep on going. Same thing happened. Like when I used to wake up for the stream at 6:30, I'd see price would move at 6 a.m. and I saw that once. I was like, okay, it's interesting. Saw that the 3rd time, 4th time, 5th and 6th time I started executing on it. And then a point comes in your life where you just kind of like ride it without hesitation. There's actually no hesitation. And that all comes with being disciplined, because when you're disciplined, execution requires no hesitation. Because we know that if we're trying to take a momentum trade, right, all the trades I take, they're all momentum trades, they're all trades based on volume. So every trade I take based on volume, there has to be no hesitation at all. I understand that part right now. There's no hesitation whenever you're looking at it, because if you wait for a minute too long, you may miss the trade, right? If you enter too early, price may hit your stop loss. So it has to be precise, it has to be exact the same time when the volumes are going to come in. And all that comes from just watching the charts over and over again. I mean, if you're just watching the charts and executing at the same time, it's not going to help a lot, because then you're going to be executing, taking a loss, and all those losses, they affect your psychology. So it's better to just wait. I tell people, hey, listen, if you're going to sit on the charts and you're going to make up your mind to just watch and accept to miss trades, you're going to do really, really well than the person who's going to sit just to execute. So you have to sit to just watch. If you miss trades, that's perfect, because if you're missing trades, then maybe that's an opportunity for you to learn how to be in that trade, right? So this situation here, right here, like when price moves down and closes like a small body candle, the next candle breaks the low and continues moving with volume, I've seen this setup maybe 50-60 times. I've seen this setup, and whenever price would close like this bullish candle, I would take a buy, because my mind would say, okay, you know what, we're in a bearish momentum, but candle closed bullish, it forms support, it should move up, so I'm going to take a buy. Now when I see this, a small body candle closing bullish, I'm like, okay, you know what, this is not a buy. I've seen most times price just break this low and continue moving down. So that's something I learned from watching the charts, missing these moves, not knowing why they're happening. But when these moves do happen, you kind of look at the charts, you're like, okay, you kind of make up your own mind. Okay, we had a big candle, high volume candle, small body candle. Small volume means less bullish volume, and then continuation happens. So,
hi, Raja.
Hey, Mr. Essen.
Yeah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, can you go back to the chart? Yeah, I missed that move because just before this bullish candle at the high volume time, that bearish candle break this support and came back and close. So for this candle at 6 o'clock, I was waiting this to close to below that support, so I can take the sell. So that's why I missed that sells, because I wanted this to be closed below the support.
Yeah. See, so now when you're going to see this happen maybe 6-7 more times, then instead of waiting for the close, you'll be say, okay, you know what, this is going to go down, I might want to take an impulse entry.
And the reason for missing this, I had a 10 pips profit in Asian session when it broke the 650.
Yeah.
So I thought I already had a profit, so let's see if it closes or not.
Yeah, no, that's good. Soon what's going to happen is you're going to start executing on it because you've seen it enough. Ooh, we're tapping down into this low over here. Beautiful price action. GJ 1 hour chart. Reversal of bullish trend. If you look left, this is also a rejection as well, looking left there. 2% sell stop, closed half as we stalked at the break of the high, and double back up as bearish candle, closed majority over here. Beautiful. Well done. Let's take a look at your JPY. Your JPY is entering this whole consolidation area. Daily candle. It's going to be interesting to see how interest rates affect price here. Gold is still in the range here. It closed above 1876. So I'm not sure it's going to be any sells over here if we break below this area or not. So let's just wait. GJ will start moving up. Trust me, sell side has been grabbed. Okay. when someone says trust me, you shouldn't trust that person. You know, it's like when a salesman comes to you, he's like, brother, trust me, man. This is the best thing for you, bro. Trust me. Just gotta run the other way. Like, no. Run the other way. So like, you know, if you're gonna take buys with good confirmation at this point here. Can't send a chart that 1 hour small body bull candle if you look at the 30 minutes. Let's take a look at the 30 minute. Yeah, this was the close right over here. 30-minute closed bearish above support. Regarding market dynamics, does the way candles move or the structure of a pair change when market dynamics change after a period of years? The trade is profitable now, may not be the same after. Probably not. I'm gonna say I haven't spent enough time in the markets to answer that question. But yeah, I haven't spent enough time in the market to answer that question, because I think that the market dynamics change every 4 to 5 years. I think with every new presidency, the market dynamics change. So I haven't spent enough time. So that's like a long-term play. But I'm pretty sure market dynamics change. But what I do know is that when candles form, you know, candles are always forming the same way. And the reason why from that perspective is that I think when price is moved by human perception, right? What we think the true value of price is. And whenever we're thinking about what true value of price is, we're executing on that. So I also think that the 90% people who do lose, they do the same mistakes over and over again. And which is why I think the price moves the same way, or the same patterns are printed over and over again, because majority is just doing the same things over and over again. Because the movement is price is just like, you know, orders being taken which are placed into the market. So which is why, you know, I think with this discussion we can go into the black hole of trading. But I think like the human perception moves the market. 90% who lose. You know, which is why the patterns, they keep on repeating. Wow, this thing is still coming down over here. Damn. Coming down to fill this daily wick here? Probably. 134.883. 134.883. It's going to be a monster move over here. Man, whoever's holding sells at this point, just clap for yourself, because this was the trade of the week here, coming all the way from the London session. I would strongly suggest doing a webinar on trending market, entries, trailing stops, and securing positions. I think if not done correctly, trending market can frustrate you a lot. We do have a webinar on that. If you go to the database in the Unlearn and Relearn section, trending market is discussed in candle trends. So I think you need to re-watch that again. Hey, Dr. Raja, same setup again. Works like magic. Let's take a look over here. Dr. Raja, Professor PhD. Oh, your JPY coming down. Oh, same situation over here. People are starting to identify same candle patterns here. Beautiful, close positions. We're coming down to retest those lows too. If you're in GJ buys, I pray for you. I think everyone should pray for you. If you're in sells, man, you're winning this trade. If you're not in any trades, then this is an opportunity for you to see how could you have been in this sales, because these are going to happen over and over again. How do you leave that feeling of wanting more from the market after a winning day? I feel as I should just stop after that point and not look at the charts all day, but the market seduces. Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is you should really have your day planned. You should really understand how you're going to spend your day. I took trades in the morning. I took a trade in London session. I took another trade before coming on the stream. It was a sell, didn't hold it, closed at like 10, 12 pips. And after that, I made up my mind that, okay, you know what? I'm done for the day. Like after these trades, I'm not going to look for another trade unless we do come up, create like a minor resistance to come down. Other than that, I'm not going to be looking at anything else, So you really have to make up your mind if you're going to take another trade or not. But right now, there is no trade on GJ. I got a winning trade on Asian session, stayed disciplined, and only executed the trades mentally not to lose profits. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, gold is still ranging here. Let's take a look at pre-markets. Pre-markets, we are positive. We're positive 100 points, positive 97 points here on the Dow as well. So if we're positive here, I think US 30 should be continuing bullish. Let's take a look here. Oh, we're bearish here as expected again. We're still in a bearish momentum. We're coming down to a support level. This is extremely, extremely interesting. Elections are also coming in. Man, this is going to be, next week is going to be wild. Super wild week next week. Super wild week next week. This month is also coming to an end. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of this month. And wow, man, what a time to be alive here. I mean, next week is going to be, wow, interesting. Tuesday and Wednesday New York streams I think are going to be lit, because Wednesday we're going to know who's going to be the president, and man, I'm actually very excited to see what happens. Let's take a look over here. So this is the first, November 1st, oh, we're shifting daylight time here too. And actually the elections are on Tuesday. Okay, Wednesday is going to be interesting. Wednesday is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think if Trump wins, gold is going to start taking dumps if Trump wins, because that's what happened the last time. When Trump came into the election, he won, gold rallied for about a day, 2 days, and then it started dumping after that. It dumped for 3 months straight. Same thing happened with the US dollar. US dollar started to continue going up. So we'll see what happens. If Biden wins, the opposite is going to happen. Gold's going to continue moving up. Stock market is going to continue moving down. Biden's, I don't know. It's going to be wild. Sleepy Joe comes in or Trump comes in. It's going to be wild regardless. Do you agree that us new traders should just sit on the sidelines and watch the markets next week? I would say so. But also not ignore the technicals of the markets too, if they do present themselves. Because I believe whenever there's a high volatile news events, they follow the higher time frame technicals all the time. So that's going to be something important to watch. All right, let's take a look over here. Reason for sell stop at this point below the 15-minute candle. Anticipating high volume from pre-New York once it breaks the low of the previous candle. Breaking the 1 hour low would also mean breaking the 1 hour low or 4 hour low. Plus daily wick to fill, plus clean traffic. Seeing this happen, high volume. Beautiful. Amazing. All the confidences were present there for price to move down. There should have been no doubt. Because here's the thing, right? Once we broke below 135,400, you have to start talking to yourself. Like whenever I'm taking a trade, whenever I'm in the trade, I start talking to myself. I start having a conversation that, okay, Raja, what's the probability it's going to go down? How much can it go down? So if I look at this below 135,400, if price comes into this vicinity with clean candles, I'm like, okay, what's the probability it's going to go down? I'm like, okay, there's a very high probability it's going to go down. And then I say, okay, what's the probability it can go up? And then I say, okay, there's a very, very low probability it can go up. So I'm like, okay, awesome. It's probably going to go down. And then there's no hesitation in execution. You take the sell, price goes down, you win the trade, perfect. If price goes the opposite way, then you can say, okay, you know what, price is going the opposite way, how can I manage my risk? How can I make sure my loss is smaller? Because when you can focus on having smaller losses, automatically, naturally, down the road, you start focusing on how to get bigger winners, But the first step is to make sure you can have smaller losses. Every time I attempt a stop entry, I get stomped. I think then that means maybe don't try a sell stop entry. Like for a very, very long time, I couldn't take sell stop entries as well. Sell stop, buy stops, I couldn't do them as well. All right. Hey, this is my first analysis sent to the Gulag. I would appreciate it if you could let me know what you think. Okay. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Such a humble request. Oh, USD/JPY daily chart. Price wick down, sells below here to be safe, possible 200 pip move, multiple lower lows. So now you got to go down to the small time frames, the 4 hour and the 1 hour. And then if you see price will continue down to this green line you have, and then looking at the small time frames, you can kind of like map out your entries and exits. So I think that's the next step. But I do think, it's all bearish, right? We're coming down. And it's the same thing we talked about earlier on, how investors are dumping US dollars, and I think that's causing the yen to increase. And again, with the virus bias, that's pushing euro and pound bearish as well. Price action was bearish. Wonderful. I was wondering about something you said this week. Many were in your Forex family and still stuck in the same position while you evolve. 2 questions. Did you see yourself in this position back then? Yes. Were those members also very good reading candles? Wonder if you can elaborate. Yeah, so there are still people who are stuck in the same position, and I feel like a broken record. And broken record means when you say something over and over again, the cassette or the record, it starts to kind of like, break. And the only reason why that's happening is because of discipline. They're not committing to 1 or 2 trades a day. They're not committing to just one pair. They're not committing to just one session. They're all over the place, over trading, over risking. All those factors, they will always keep you in one position, right? And that's the only thing people still get stuck. I know a lot of people who stay disciplined, who make good gains for about a month, 2 months, and then in 1 week they lose all those gains because, I don't know, it's just that they become confident, they become cocky, and they start taking unnecessary risks. They think they're amazing and they start over trading. And when you start over trading, things just start going downhill, and that's the only reason why you're stuck in the same position that you're stuck in, because you're over trading, you're not giving it enough time. I have people there who joined a month ago and they're still trying to kind of like rush the process. You can't rush the process when you have tsunamis coming in. So all these news events, the virus, the elections, the holidays, Brexit talks, these are tsunamis in the market here, right? These are huge tsunamis, and you can't expect to get consistent during a tsunami, right? We as traders, we are on small boats, right? These news events, these are like giant icebergs running at lightning speed across the ocean. So how can you get consistent in rowing your little boat when you have these tsunamis going around, So it takes time. So you got to wait, you got to relax, like next year is going to be really slow. It's going to be I think it's going to be very calm next year. January, February, March, it's going to be very calm. But you got to let these tsunamis pass. What's better, over trading with less risk or trading less but with bigger risk? I think trading less with less risk is better. I know it sounds demoralizing because it's going to take a long time, and things take time, man. Things take time. You want to graduate from university to get a job, 4 years. You want to get promoted to a job, 4 or 5 years. All this takes time. You have a baby, you're waiting for the baby to walk, 1 year, at least 1 year. Everything takes time. And if you think you can come to trading and you can make profits in the first week, never gonna happen. Never ever gonna happen. If you're gonna come to trading and make profits the first month, never gonna happen. Maybe it may happen, but then you're gonna have like a bearish trend for the next month or 2 months. Never gonna. It takes time. Everything takes time. Like it took me time to bump up my lot sizes. Trading is like swimming with sharks while attempting to dig for gold. Very much. That's true. So right now I'm just waiting. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm just waiting for the euro news here to see what happens to euro here with the interest rates. I still think the interest rates for euro are going to push euro bullish based on the daily technical level and based on what I've seen in the past. So we'll see what happens. GPJPY is also rejecting this area. There's no trade at this point. There's no buys because price is bearish. There's no sells because price tapped into a low over here to the left hand side. So we're waiting. All right, let's see here. EN short I took during London. Setup seems good, but I lost the trade in a few minutes. Mind giving it a look? Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Oh, you sold at the bottom at this point here. Took a sell at the break of the low. Clear range, expect to be pushed further. Entry was in the 1 hour. Managed my risk pretty good. Lost 1.5% instead of 2%. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Next thing I would say is to see how you could have gotten the winning trade. And just by looking at it, it's very difficult. There was no way you could have gotten a winning trade. So I think at this point, yeah, it is what it is, but you manage your risk, so that's a win right there when you manage risk. Let's take a look at this chart here. Raja, please check this idea for how to re-enter sells on GJ. Aaron sent me a private message, even though it's not private because everyone can see it, but we're gonna make Aaron happy. Looking for a wick back into the zone and a bearish candle sell confirmation. Similar concept here if we break below the retest. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good idea for price to create like a resistance and then continue moving down. So at the same time here on the 30, yeah, we're in the consolidation area at this point. So there's going to be a lot of waiting here. There may not, so like, since we had volume coming from London, right? So look here, from pre-London, London session volume, pre-New York volume coming in. So I won't be surprised if during the New York Open, G just starts ranging. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts ranging or if it starts tippy-toeing up. So if you don't find any trade during the New York session, GJ, it's because it already had a big move in London session. Can you take a look at this chart? Oh, there's no chart over here. How long did it take you to get confident holding runners? I was in GJ short at 135.55. Oh, all the way up over here. and took some 10 pips, then the rest at 135.20. I knew in my head we were heading lower though. Confidence is going to come with doing the same thing over and over again, and that's going to take a lot of time. And the reason why it's going to take a lot of time is because the setup which you think you should have held a runner, that may not happen till next month, or that may not happen till next week. So there's going to be a long period of time when you're going to have to wait for that same setup to come up. That's where it takes the most time. And I think that's where some people get a little bit discouraged, because things don't happen fast enough. So you really have to wait for that time to come on. Do you take note of how many pips does a daily candle move to include your confluence? Sometimes, now I know that whenever there's going to be a volume in GPJPY on the daily time frame, it's going to be at least 100 to 150 pips, that daily candle. So if we measure this daily candle here, actually when we measured the previous daily candle moved around 130 pips, right? This current daily candle has moved around 100 pips at this point. So I think average, I know daily candle, like with volume maximum, I've seen like 180 pips. This was in March, 180, around like 200 pips, because there was a lot of volume at that time. So so those things I keep in mind. So I knew if price is going to come down, it's going to retest this low, and I took 2 sells in this one candle, and that was about it. My spread is 2.9 to 3 pips. Having such a high spread is going to make it harder for a new trader, right? Yes. Having a high spread means you're paying more to execute a trade. All right, gold is about to break this low. If gold breaks and closes below 1877, man, it's going to continue moving bearish. Just got confirmation from the Illuminati: sell gold and live life. Sell gold and live life. So yeah, below this area, we're going to live life coming down. VantageFX sent another round of emails. Just a reminder to everybody that they will be leaving Canada on the 31st November. And they also said that you can withdraw money at any time after that. So
Very nice.
Yeah, they keep sending reminder emails. Every week they send a reminder email. And any positions, if you're going to have open coming up till the 31st November, they will automatically be closed. So if you're going to be in like a drawdown, it's going to be closed in a drawdown. Ooh, I got in sells as the 15-minute flipped bearish. Let's see this. Do we have enough range? Yeah, it's kind of risky. I would still wait to see as we're coming down over here. It's like squeezing pips out of a move that has already happened. You can still do it. Raja took Vantage's money. I wish I took all their money. They got billions. If not billions, they got a couple hundred millions for sure. Hey Raja, can you clarify how to measure daily candle pips by wicks or body? It's by wicks. So if you go to the candles section in market fluidity, we talk about the candles, right? So this is the top of the candle and this is the bottom of the candle. So you measure the whole range, you know, the top and the bottom. So the top and the bottom. It's basically the movement, right? Like how much the candle is moving. How can the biggest safe haven gold is dropping and everyone is panicking for the virus second wave in US elections? It's manipulation, man. Someone's lying. The dollar is dropping, gold is dropping. There's a lot of uncertainty. Like everyone's taking money out because, you know, like when you have elections coming in, not only it's risky for gold, but it's also risky for the US dollar. So that's why they're both dropping, because investors are like, hey, like, you know what, if we have money in gold And if there's a probability that if we have money in gold, there's a probability gold can drop depending on what the result is, right? If you have money in the US dollar, the investor is thinking, okay, if you have money in the US dollar, anyone can win and the US dollar can drop. So they're taking money out. When you take money out from something, the value of that decreases, which is why you see gold value decreasing, before elections. Look at this fall over here from 1905 all the way down towards 1871. So as we're coming down to election time, more and more people are taking money out to just kind of like see what happens. Then when the results come out, then the real game starts, then the real trend starts. So I think with this elections, a new trend is going to start on a lot of pairs. And it's going to be exciting. I saw a lot of people make a lot of money when Trump became president. The following year, 2017, I saw a lot of people make a lot of money. And I think this is going to be a time in 2021 where the people who missed out the 2017 run are going to, make it back in 2021. So I'm really excited for that. Like I saw it happen. I saw people make money. I was like, wow, wish I did that. But now I know more. So if you're new coming into trading this year, I think you're going to watch it happen in 2021, and then you're going to say that next time when elections come in, oh, look at this. Gold's coming down over here. I'm not in any sells, by the way. I'm just going to watch it drop down to 1871. Is buying stocks after the election a good idea or the worst of its kind? See, it depends who wins, basically. It depends who wins, and what kind of stocks too. So like, you'll have to see what kind of policies the candidate who wins, they have towards, different stocks like tech stocks, airline stocks, pharma stocks. So you'll have to keep those things in mind. I'm new here. Who are those people on the video call? Are those your students? Yeah, we have friends, we have members, we have acquaintances, affiliates. So these people you see on the call, they actually run the markets. You see Mr. Mohammed Danish, he's on the call. He's on the call with the market maker. We have Jack over here. Jack is just watching the markets. We have Caesar. Caesar also watching the markets with 2 clocks in the background. You have Raymond over here. Raymond drinks his can and smokes darts sometimes. We have Yusuf. We have Kerwin. You can hear Kerwin's parrots in the background sometimes.
Yeah, my parrots are crazy.
If Biden wins, buy gold full margin. Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, man.
I agree with that. Because when Trump won the last time, gold just dropped. It just kept dropping for a good 3 months. Yeah, I think gold should continue moving bearish over here. This 1 hour candle closes below 1876. Boom, coming straight down to 1871. Hey.
The only issue I see on gold is that we tapped that area during Asian session, and we tapped it basically almost at London, and now we're basically New York. So if that area breaks, yeah, we can get easy move to 1869 to retest that support. But we still need more of a simple candle breaking that, because it may just tap below and close back in range.
It's going to continue down.
Okay, then.
Positivity, Kervin. Positive thoughts.
Yeah, I'm always positive. Trust. Yeah, trust.
Yeah. Most positive person I know, Kervin.
Yeah.
Based on your experience, what was your thought process with GJ during the Asian session? It seems it usually ranges and the pre-London volume gives breakout. Do you agree? Yes. And that's one of the reasons I stopped trading the Asian session, because most times it's just kind of consolidating, arranging. And for the past year and a half, I've seen GPJPY set up really nicely to move in London session. So which is why, like lately I've been looking at the London session here to kind of like catch the kind of moves that run all the way into New York. Like what happened yesterday, right? Yesterday we had the move in London session and it ran all the way in New York, if I can find it. Well, you get the idea. Do you think it's smart to take a buy in USD CAD right now? I'll tell you what's not smart. What's not smart is to write that statement without sending a chart. A better question is going to be, hey man, here's a chart. Do you think this makes sense? And I would say, then I would look at it, then we would think, then we would kind of like analyze it, then we'll say, okay, yeah, it makes sense, maybe not, maybe look at these things here. So that's going to help you more. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Oh, this is GP CAD, resistance, clean traffic. First candle closed below second resistance, right over here. I missed the original entry, but was confident, so I entered in the wick, right over here. Price came down. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. So this move up was a fake out, right? This was resistance. Price broke up, came back down, closed below the area, and then continued moving down. How do you like the new update from cTrader 5? I think it's pretty good. Would you agree in correcting the support to 30-minute support formed on October 28th, since taking a sell right now is very choppy? Do you agree in correcting the support? What does that mean, correcting the support? Like it's tapping into the support area. It's tapping into this rejection area. Hey Raja, for new trader who trades your style, please, do you think it's better to have a raw spread account or standard account? First of all, there's no such thing as my style. My style is reading candles. Like if you can read candles, you'll agree that there's no style, there's no strategy. It's just simple patterns. You're looking at the candles and then you're executing based on those patterns, which have a high probability of working out based on the time you spent on the charts. Secondly, using a raw spread or the standard account, that's something you have to kind of figure out yourself. What I can help you with is that a raw spread basically means that there's going to be a lower spread, but there's going to be commissions, right? So you're going to be paying commissions, but you're going to have a lower spread. Standard means the spread is going to be a little higher, but there's going to be no commissions. So all in all, I think what happens is that the only difference between ECN account, raw spread, and standard account is that on the ECN account, you're maybe saving like 0.6 pips, 0.7 pips, maximum 1 pip. That's all what you're saving there. Otherwise, there's actually no difference at all. Your style might be trading candles, but we are not all the same. Well, we all see candles, right? We all see candles on the chart. And if you see something, I just don't. Yeah, we all see candles. I mean, if you throw a Fibonacci in there, then you're going to see Fibonacci. If you throw RSI and indicators, you're going to see RSI and indicators. But to the core charts are just candlesticks and prices. I don't think there's anything more than that. Just candlesticks and prices. Wow, this thing is continuing down over here. Go to a 30-minute chart, look, the support formed on October 28th. Yes, right over there. Previous 30-minute candle just closed there, rejecting. That's on GJ. Yes, we see that rejecting. But what does that mean? Does that mean that means nothing because we're just rejecting that, and then next candle just coming down at this point. So now we have to see whether we continue breaking below or we create consolidation or what happens at this point. So just waiting. What's your thoughts on Euro JPY? My thoughts on Euro JPY is wait for, we have an hour left for the interest rates, so we'll have to wait for the interest rates. Looking at the daily is tapping into a strong support area which was held on the 16th July. So we'll have to see how interest rates react to this area. Based on technicals on the higher time frame, we should ideally reject this area, but we'll see how news plays out.
Yo, good morning.
Hey, good morning. All right, let's take a look at this chart. This chart coming straight from the gulag. Let's take a look here. This is, ooh, wrong chart. Wrong chart from the gulag. Come on. Sending wrong charts here in the morning. I know someone took a sell on the 15-minute candle on GJ. I think it's playing out really well for them.
Yeah, we're risky as hell, man.
Yeah, playing out really well. Daniel Costa. Very nice. Continuation of momentum. Filling the wick over here. Retapping the low here from yesterday. Beautiful. If you look on the daily is also filling this wick over here. See, wicks don't lie. In momentum, wicks get filled, it just takes a little bit of time. Time and the effort of just holding.
Oh my God, you're just thinking.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice. Yeah, GG is heading to Pound Town over here. Wow. 134.840, crossing the daily wick over there too. Let's take a look here. We're coming into 134.780. Let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. Now let's look left. So we're coming into this area around 134.780, and the next support we have down at 134.400. So see, as price is coming down, it's now coming down into this supposedly consolidation area, because this is where price was consolidating before. We came up, created resistance, came down, we went up, created resistance here again, came down, created support, went up, kind of like there was an issue here in the small time frames, and then we continued moving up. So this is some sort of a previous resistance turned support, and then we got the range down over here. Looking left. Crazy. Didn't really expect price to go this low here, to be honest. Really expected it to kind of like come down, kind of like consolidate, and then, you know, just consolidate towards the New York session. But I guess the volume is way too much here for price to kind of consolidate, still moving. Wow. US 30 is still continuing down over here. US 30 is continuing down. Gold also kind of like tapped down into 1875. It's also about to close. Could be a crazy, crazy day here today.
The enemies of the throne slaughter each other, and when they're done, seize Winterfell from whichever thief survives.
Winterfell is 1,000 miles away from here. The way
Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
watching
Winterfell.
Defer. You keep mentioning that it's important to identify a particular setup for next time. What setup did you look at here? Nothing. There was no setup that I looked at here. Basically, this low breaking right over here. You have clean candles here to the left hand side. Yeah, just gotta wait. An hour-long wait. Brexit plea to avoid devastating no deal as UK car industry sees. Ooh, worse September over here. Looks like we need more gurus and mentors up there in the UK to buy Lambos and some cars, man. Kind of revive the car industry for the UK. Traders need to make more money in the UK to buy more cars. I can recommend someone who will help you in Bitcoin investment or Forex trading to create wealth for yourself. Mr. Bradley, he has helped me and a lot of people. He's an expert. Oh, thank you, thank you. You know, one thing I've learned being in this industry is that when someone comes to you and they say that we will invest your money and then, like, you know, you're gonna have returns, I've just learned to run the other way. I've learned to run the other way because there's a 90% chance that's never going to work out. I know we have some people here who have been involved in those things. I know some people here who are currently taking from people, try to give them returns, and sometimes, you know, it doesn't go too well. I know you're not crazy about brokers and advertising them, but is there anyone you could recommend for USA-based traders? I think the entire problem with living in the US and looking for a good brokerage is that the US has a lot of regulations, right? And regulations mean that the US, they don't have regulations just to like kind of like, you know, get people annoyed, but they have regulations because there have been a lot of brokers that do scam people. They don't live up to their expectations. People, they don't know how to trade. People, you know, they give money into brokerages to, let's say, account managers, and they lose their money. You know, so because of those issues, the US government has really started regulating brokerages. And what that means is that if you're going to open a brokerage in the US, first of all, you need licenses, right? And those licenses, they cost a lot of money. Second of all, if you're going to operate as a brokerage in the US, you cannot offer a high leverage. You cannot offer a platform where people can take buys and sells at the same time for the most part. So, you know, like those things play a huge role, right? And then you have offshore brokerages that do give higher leverage, that do give you that freedom to trade the way you want. So I think if you're living in the US, your best bet is going to be to go with a offshore brokerages, which do have, like, you know, crypto in, crypto out. But if you're really anal about regulations, then you're going to have to go with something, you know, like Oanda or FX Choice, where the spreads are... Oanda spreads are pretty good. FX Choice spreads are pretty high, you know, so there are a lot of regulations in that part. And looks like gold is moving here, just like we expected. We're moving straight down to 1874. I think we're going to be continuing down towards 1871 here. If you look on the 30-minute candle, 15-minute candle, closed bearish over there. Next one just continued down. We have clean traffic to the left-hand side. We have this wick to fill on the 4-hour. So, yeah, I think as this candle comes to a close in 10 minutes, I think the next one should continue moving bearish. Hey, I'm slightly confused about taking a sell on GJ below 184.888. Till 134.400. I've taken any trade. I haven't any advice. I think what you need to do at this point is to wait to see if we form some sort of a resistance, you know, as price comes up. If we form some sort of a, like, you know, like a minor resistance level and then continue down. So if you're kind of confused about taking a sell, you're absolutely right, because there are no sells right now. You know, no sells with good confirmation, so you have to wait. How would you pay taxes on offshore brokers? Well, when you get money in the US, then you pay tax on that, right? Okay. I saw GJ at 136,650 after London. But it was just the support and out of my trade time, so I paid. So I said I'll catch it in the morning. Now I ever slept in meltdown. Do you think I was wrong and should have taken the opportunity? Well, Hatam, I think you need to look at that, and you need to see that if you did execute, how far the trade would have run. If you did execute somewhere over here during London, where you would have had your stop losses, right? Because this opportunity is going to happen again and again and again. So moving forward, I think you need to really study it and see how you could have executed on this, and then move on to the next day. Because if it happens the next time you're going to be ready on how to execute on the situation. You know, and trust me, I've missed trades like these too in the past. I've missed all these trades. I think this year I've been catching all these trades. So it's a big confidence booster over here. I have a question about candles with no bottom wicks. Could you take a look? Let's take a look here. This 30-minute candle closed strong bearish with no wick to the bottom. Close full position here. No comfy with runners yet. Runners continue on looking left. Ignore the fact price push bearish. Would you have entered? Anticipate London to push to break. Yeah, I mean, it's all probability, right? It's all probability. I mean, we can never be 100% sure whether price will continue moving all the way down here or it will reject over here, which is why we leave runners running, right? If you saw a candle closing with no bottom wick, you close your full position. That means you thought that price will continue moving up. But realistically, there's a 50-50 chance, right? There's a 50-50 chance that price will either move up or it's going to move down when a candle closes with no wick. So I think a better decision would have been to leave a small runner running, even if that would have been like a 0.01, you know, even let a 0.01 running, because in the long term it's not going to make a huge difference, you know, but it's going to increase your confidence too. Like, even if you leave a small runner running, that increases your confidence to later on leave like larger runners run. So it's going to help you in that aspect. Also, Hatam, I think a good sell would have been right over here as well once we start breaking this low over here. Because as you continue on watching GPJPY, you will start to accept the fact that when GPJPY breaks the support, it seldom does retests. You know, it just continues moving. I'm sure people who've been here with us on the stream for about 2 months, 3 months, they now know that GPJPY, it seldom doesn't do retests. Like in high volume time, it just continues moving, you know, so you have to be comfortable with that. What is the process of opening a brokerage? I think if you write that same question in Google, you're going to get a better response. How to open a brokerage. All right, so what do we got? We got about like 45 minutes for the euro interest rates. And also we're going to see how the pound JPY acts in that situation. Gold is also closing bearish below 1876, a very, very strong support level, increasing its probability to continue down towards 1871. Can you please make a video on take profit? Getting good entry is not as hard as setting take profit. taking profits depends on where you feel comfortable in taking profits. You know, for me, I take profits at 10 pips, 12 pips, 15 pips. I'm okay with that. I take profits in that. And then I leave a runner. If a runner continues running, perfect. You know, sometimes if there's volume and I've seen certain things over and over again, I let the whole position run. So there's a lot of learning that you need to do in terms of, you know, price action, volume times, how price moves in certain times, you know. So that confidence is really going to push you forward. I'm not in any trades over here, but this is what I'm expecting gold to come down to. 1871. We should come down to this point. GPJPY, can you take a look at this? Is it a good idea to enter? See, if we look at this chart has no information on it. It has zero information on it. If we look at, oh, this chart was okay. If you look at this chart right over here, look how much information this has, right? It has your labeling here, your questions here. This chart also has labeling here, information here. This chart has fuck all. There's nothing on this chart. Right, so you need to put some labeling on it. You need to put some thoughts on it. I mean, sending a chart like this and then asking a question. The question was, "Oh, do you think it's a good time to enter?" I mean, enter where? Enter a buy? Enter a sell? Where? It just doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense looking at this chart. And I'm sorry, I'm not a mind reader. I can't read your mind on what you think. But I mean, you should at least put some labeling on that chart. Wish I had a crystal ball. Where's my crystal ball? Right here. Wish I could just use this and just read your mind. Oh, what does this guy in the gulag think? Oh, let me see. I can't, you know. Oh, wow. Gold is moving. Straight coming down to 1871. No retest, no nothing.
Yeah, I want to see a clear closing this hour below that support. Hopefully we get retest the previous support to continue going down. So yeah.
Yep.
I didn't want it to take that impulsive entry for the sells, to be honest.
But you did it?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
So basically I'm gonna wait.
Oh, but the train is leaving.
Yeah, it's a good move. No FOMO.
Yeah,
no FOMO. No.
That's good.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's not the first time, and it's not gonna be the last one. So yeah. I'm not worried about it. Yeah. Very nice.
I've been watching stream for 14 months. First time commenting. I just want to thank you for showing me the importance of having a systematic rule-based approach to the markets. That's the most intelligent comment someone has made this morning so far. And that's absolutely true. I mean, the only thing you can learn from the live streams is to have a systematic approach towards price action and trading. Ooh, wow, look at that. 1872. Holy. 1871 coming straight up over here. Wow, man. Kermit.
Same as yesterday, man.
Exactly the same as yesterday.
Yeah.
Look at this 500 pip move over here. No, 50 pip move, sorry. Wow, crazy.
Irving called it as yesterday.
Man, I wonder if someone was in these gold cells over here.
That maybe?
We got 45 minutes left for the euro interest rates. And the daily candle year JPY is still that level. We're going to see what happens. Oh, someone to Gulag took these cells on gold. Oh, beautiful. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people. Oh, man, nice. Nice, nice, nice. See, this is what I'm saying, man. Like these live streams, I mean, you can never get bored on these live streams.
This is Jeremy. He hit
Jeremy? Yeah. I mean, together we win, together we profit. Some people don't take trades, some people enter the trades. And listen, man, if you took these sells on gold and you booked profits today, give a like on the stream. Because I'm pretty sure 300 people didn't take the sells. More than 300 people took those sells. And I think more people who took sells, it actually moved price bearish too. Oh, let's stop this spam over here. Alright, sometimes it takes a wrong turn to get you to the right place. That's true. If we will imagine the thing we want and do our part to be in the right place. Oh yeah, that's all true. Took gold sells, done for the day, leaving a small 10% runner. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So it was sells on gold and sells on GJ and your JPY news. And I'm going to wait to see how these interest rates affect your JPY. Alright, let's see here. Does YouTube pay you for likes? No, YouTube does not pay me for likes. Such dumb questions people ask sometimes, man. Makes me shake my head at the gulag. Hey, thanks for bringing Jeevan on stream. I found out that my trading style is mostly the same as his, so I started attending his stream. That guy is very informative. Yeah, Jeevan, he's a very smart guy. He's very informative. That's 100% true. There's no doubt about that. Can you ask in stream Zoom people to vote which is more angry, upset, losing a trade? Oh, losing a trade or missing a trade? I think losing a trade, I think missing a trade you should be happier about, because when you miss a trade, you have an opportunity to kind of like learn and to like, you know, get that trade the second time. But if you're losing a trade, I think losing a trade, you should be more mad. And I think losing the same trade, you should be even madder, because you made the wrong decision twice. My IML mentor said that was expected. I'm back with guys with 10 lots. Oh yeah, all IML mentors, man, whenever price moves to a certain place, they always come around and say, oh yeah, you see that was expected, that was expected. They will never watch price with you and say, oh, this is going to go over here. They can never do that. They'll never be able to do that. You know, because IML mentors, they don't trade, man. They can't trade. It's funny because when you have people in IML, in trading, I spend maybe 3-4 hours in trading, and that's about it. When you have people in IML, man, people in IML, they are working all the time. All the time they're working. And they're the ones who say, oh, if you want to get financial freedom, join this over here, or if you want to live the life you dreamed of, join over here. But man, they're always working. They're always doing meetings. They're always clowning around with their members. I mean, it's work all the time. There's no family life balance, nothing, man. They got their whole relatives on IML. It's just madness. It's just madness, man. They're always working. I mean, it's a false narrative, I think, at that point. So I've really watched them. I always see them do meetings here and there, events here and there. They're always working. But when you're trading, the amount of time you're going to trade, and that's it. And then you go enjoy your day. Watching you for 6 months now. Look, that gold sells also took GJ sell with Daniel Savage. Much thanks from Kenya. Oh, wonderful. Looks like if gold breaks 1871, we're moving further down over here. 1869. Wow, what a day it's going to be. What's this? Have you read The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas? It's so, what are your thoughts on it? The only thing I could get out of Disciplined Trader and the book Trading in the Zone was to focus on specific concepts, right? Focus on one session, focus on a few pairs, focus on 1 or 2 trades. That's the only thing I could get out of those, Trading in the Zone and a Disciplined Trader. That's about it. It's so conflicting whenever I hit my daily profit target in the first 30 minutes of my trading session. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? And that's what trading is, once you reach your targets, you call it a day. And then you're just like, okay, now what do I do? Just watch price? Like, I hit my daily targets in London session. I was awake at that time. I took the trades, like in the London session, took a sell, took another sell before the stream. And after that, I'm just like, okay, just gonna come on over here and just watch. Didn't even say hello in Slack. Yeah, I know, I was busy. I had to go get milk from downstairs, and I was watching price, and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is gonna fall down. Hey, what are your thoughts on FTMO when they try to scam with email when someone completes their challenge in less than half a month? I think if you complete an FTMO challenge within 2-3 days, they will send you an email saying that they don't accept your result. And yeah, man, I don't think it's a scam. It's not a scam because if you read their terms and conditions, it clearly states in their terms and conditions that they can deny you your winnings at any time. And I think those terms and conditions are, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a bad business practice in that sense. Why is gold going down? It means people are long on USD. I figured it will be the opposite since it looks like it's Biden winning. Now, that statement, looks like it's Biden winning, that's the same thing saying as, oh, looks like GJ is going to go up. No one knows Gigi is going to go up or not. It's the same thing as no one knows if Biden is going to win or Trump's going to win. No one knows that, you know. So the reason why gold is moving down is, and the dollar is also moving down at the same time, is because people are getting antsy about their money in the safe haven and in the US dollar. So they're taking it out to wait to see who wins. So whoever wins, then based on that, the money is going to go back in. And trust me, if gold moves up 20, 30 pips, it doesn't mean gold's going back up. You know, I mean, look at the higher time frame. You look at the 30-minute time frame, look at the 1 hour time frame, look at the 4 hour time frame, right? And then look at the daily time frame. So you think one bullish candle on 30-minute means daily is going to move bullish? No. You know, so you always got to go with the higher time frame. Democrats control most. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like last time when Hillary and Trump were competing, on the news, all you would see Hillary's winning. Like you would just see Hillary's winning, you know. And at the end of the day, man, like Trump came out of nowhere. Do you provide copy trading? I don't provide copy trading, but the way you're spamming the chat, probably gonna ban you here from the channel now, just like that. So. All right, let's take a look at gold over here. Get in the sell with impulse entry first time and finally take profit hit. Oh, very nice, Mr. Danish. You sent this chart here before. Danish, send that chart again. Send the first chart because I want to see the before and after. Wow, that was amazing. And during this entire stream, you can see Danish's reaction to price. There was nothing. He had no reaction. Just a little slight smile on the face, and that was about it. As price kept moving. Right now it's all calm. It's all calm before the storm, and storm is going to come in 30 minutes here. We're going to see what happens. Man, what's happening here with the gyms in Ontario are that the gyms are now realizing that these lockdowns they basically make no sense at all. So they're sending emails and petitions to their members to kind of like fill out certain forms and send those forms to, like, you know, our leaders over here, and to tell them that they're just dumbasses. I mean, you go to the gym to stay healthy, you know, like if you're going to close gym, close supermarkets where you have people touching fruits and then you have someone else that touch the same fruits. I mean, that's more dangerous than going to the gym to work out. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. So this chart was sent before. See, this is the planning right over here. Range is good with clean traffic. Take profit down over here. If 30-minute candle closed below this support, then look for sell on the next candle, right? We look at this chart, get in the sell with impulse entry first time. So this is an impulse entry, right? And look, price came straight down. So this is where planning, wow, amazing. Before and after. Jim, you have people that breathe hard due to working out. Breezy Jeezy, I think with that statement, I don't think you ever seen the inside of a gym in your life ever. If you made that statement that in the gym people breathe on each other. I mean, come on, man. That's what our premier said in Ontario. And you want to know what our premier looks like? Let me show you right over here. I don't think this guy has ever gone to the gym. Where is this? Doug Ford. This is our premier. This is the guy who makes all the decisions for Ontario. This guy. Do you think he's ever been to the gym in his life, ever? I don't think so. I don't think so. And these are the people who say that gyms are the most dangerous places you can go. I mean, come on. Look at this guy. Looks like he eats steaks for breakfast, man. I mean, you go to gyms to stay healthy, you know, like if you go to my gym over here, you go to my gym, they give you a bottle to walk around with. So whichever equipment you touch, you're supposed to spray it down and you're supposed to wash it. Like, you know, you're supposed to like wipe it down. So I don't know. It's like getting advice on finances from a homeless person. Doesn't make any sense. And man, trust me, you go to the gym to release mental stress. You know, like after the live streams, I go to the gym and I go hard at the gym to just release mental stress. Like, you start sweating. That's also healthy for you. There's so many health benefits when you go there. I think everyone has a devil inside them, right? I know there's a devil inside me. And when I go to the gym, I put that devil to work. I put that devil through work, through cardio, through strength training, to lifting. And man, you always got to put your devil to work, whatever that is. You know, if it's like your hobby to collect stamps, even if you do gardening really hard. But I don't know how you're gonna garden hard, but you really got to put that devil to the test over here. So I do that when I go to the gym. I go really hard at the gym. What's this? France attack, deadly stabbing in nice terrorist attack. Stabbing in nice terrorist attack, Mayor says. What? Terrorist attack at the heart of the Notre Dame. Oh wow, crazy. What is known about the terrorist attack is Nice. Oh, Nice. Is Nice a place? I think that's a place in France. Oh, Nice is a city. Wow, I thought...
Yeah, it's pronounced Nice.
Nice.
It's French.
Yeah, I thought he meant the terrorist attack was nice. I was like, wait a minute.
What?
Yeah. Nice. Okay, makes sense. No horns for gold target. No, the horn isn't working today. Have you been to Vancouver? Yes. Vancouver is the Canada's version of New York City. No, it's not. It's way better. Vancouver is like heaven when you move from New York City to Vancouver. It's very different. You got mountains, you got nature, you got greenery. Price has reached a daily support zone. Since price is bearish, I will look for a resistance to form to take sells. What do you think? I think there's interest rates coming on for Euro JPY, so it's going to be very interesting. I think if you even look at this 1 hour candle right over here, I think if this 1 hour candle breaks the low of the previous 1 hour candle, we can see a continuation bearish move on Euro JPY. Yeah, that's going to happen, and that's also going to be the low of this 30-minute support right over here. So I think the news coming in about, 21 minutes could really, yeah, we're going to see what happens here. The news is coming in. Wow, it looks like GJ is continuing its momentum bearish over here. Crazy. Hey Raja, do you believe that market makers know about you, or that in any close future they will be very concerned about the positions you take with your people to go against? Probably not, because collectively, I think if we have, let's say for example, we have 3,000 people, and if 3,000 people take the same trades, let's say everyone's trades amounts to about 3 million in volume. 3 million in volume is extremely less compared to 5 trillion. So it's a huge difference, man. Huge difference. 5 trillion means 5,000 billion. 5,000 billion means 5,000 million. You know, so let me put this in perspective over here. Yeah, let me put this in perspective here. So, trillion is a lot of money. Look at this right over here. Look at this picture right here. So this is 1 million right over here, right? That's 1 million. That's 100 million. That's 1 billion. And this is 1 trillion. So 1 trillion is not one stacks. These are 2 stacks on top of each. That's a lot of money. People don't understand how big a trillion is, man. It's a lot of money. And look at gold over here, 1867. Damn, still going down. Did not really anticipate it dropping this further. But I did say, remember when I said that I just got a message that gold is going to continue falling down, sell gold, live life. This is what's happening right here. Danish sold gold, he lived life. You know, someone who's holding gold right now, man, you're living the ultimate life at this point. Wow, crazy. Whoever's holding gold in buys, man, I feel sorry for you. GPGPY also approaching this target over here. I mean, if it continues down from here, I have no analysis on GJ after that. Your JPY waiting for the news event. US 30 is also coming down, but wow, crazy. Crazy moves here in gold. Almost like a 100 pip move over here. Oh,
Roger,
so
we can hear you.
yeah. So the question was, why is gold dropping with the stocks at the same time? And one main reason why it's dropping is that we've discussed yesterday and day before yesterday is that people are moving money away from gold and the US dollar because of elections. That's one fundamental reason why gold is dropping. And I think we discussed this on, I think Sunday. Yeah. Ooh, Iron Man Trading had gold buys from 1880. Oh, wow. From all the way up over here with no stop losses. Crazy, crazy. Wow, man. That's also crazy. Yeah, no stop loss.
Inexperienced traders trade with no stop loss.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I think the thing about that person is that he's been trading for 17 years, right? And for 17 years, he's been trading and he's been on 3-cent lots. Now, someone would turn around and say, oh, yeah, but you shouldn't judge someone based on the lot sizes they trade. If I was trading for 17 years, I can be 100% sure I wouldn't be trading 3-cent lots. No. Like, I mean, you deserve to level up. You deserve to make money from the markets if you've been trading for 17 years. You know, like I've been trading for 4 years consistently for maybe 2.5 to 3 years. And I mean, if I didn't progress in that time, I'd probably knock myself out every morning. Why am I not doing those things? So it doesn't really, I don't know, man. I mean, people can hold 1-cent lots for a long time and still be okay with it. But, you know, progression is a must in life. You have to progress in life. If you're not progressing, I don't know what's going on. You have to progress. What do you know about so darn easy FX? I know for sure FX is not so darn easy. Yeah. Forex is not that easy, man. Yeah, it's just crazy. Wow, 1865, 1864 we're moving into.
Man, that thing's dropping.
Yeah. This thing is taking a nosedive. It's like, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Wow, 1864. Holy gold, where are you going?
Great call on gold.
Thank you.
You did not follow Iron Man futures trading.
Come on, G1.
Great job. I just want to come here and say great job with the gold below 76. Amazing call.
Yeah, but yo, listen. So I know we've talked about this too. So what I want to get this straight is, right, the reason why the US 30 and gold is falling is because people are moving money away from them because of the elections, right?
Yeah, they're putting money into the safe haven currencies.
Like the yen.
The yen, the US dollar, and like the Swiss franc, correct.
So at this time, gold is not a safe haven because there's uncertainty around it as well.
Yeah, gold was more, gold had more safe haven appeal. Because if you look at gold on like the monthly, it hit all-time highs when it peaked 2075, right? Mm-hmm. So if you really zoom out on the monthly and like, and you look at what happened previously when it hit all-time highs, like just zoom out more, zoom down more. So see when it previously peaked all-time highs after the 2008 financial collapse, and then it hit those highs around 2010, 2011, it entered a period of consolidation for an extended period of months because the price was overextended. So gold is behaving similar to what it did after the 2008 financial collapse, where it's been bullish for like 2-3 years straight, right? And now it hit all-time highs. So it's just having that consolidation and corrective phase, and that US dollar and gold inverse correlation has been a lot stronger, right? So now if you look at, like, if you just go to the dollar index, the Dixie on like the 1 hour or 4 hour chart, you'll see that it's been running more in the inverse. Like right now the dollar is very bullish, right? So it's just doing the inverse of what gold is doing at the moment. Like overall, it's been extreme. Yeah. So see that upside move the last couple of days on the dollar is one of the main reasons that gold's been having a meltdown. Euro USD went down, USD CAD went up, and market fear overall has been stronger around like the COVID case spikes and everything. But the best thing you can do when you're watching these things is not follow Iron Man futures trading.
Trust.
I mean,
I believe you.
I'll see you guys later. All right. Have a great day.
all right,
No,
all right,
man,
cool.
come on, man.
Man came here. He fired rocket
Yeah.
launchers, and then he's leaving.
Exactly, man.
He came here and went.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like anyone who holds positions with no stop losses and high volatile pairs, I don't know, man. I don't follow those people. It's madness. You can never have an open position with no stop loss. Just doesn't make any logical sense at all. That was hilarious. All right, let's take a look here. Third analysis on my own analysis. Can you please comment? Let's take a look here. This is GJ 30-minute chart. Oh, this is from before London session. This candle closed above resistance. Open buy at this candle. Oh, right over here. Oh, should have waited for a retest. Clear range on the left. Price came closed half. Open more position, giving trade a second chance. Beautiful, excellent. And then continued on. Yeah, it's amazing. Beautiful. What's this? Raja, would a sell below this 30-minute candle on GJ be valid? On GPGPY below this area? Yes. I think we should continue. I think the sell momentum can continue once we break below these lows over here. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. 1 hour is also creating a support. 15 minutes also ranging at this point. So yeah, I mean, even if we do come up and if we form some sort of a resistance, we can continue down to retest this low. But if this low is formed and if we form a resistance, I think there's going to be a higher probability for price to range, because we've had such a big move coming down from the London session. And that move also continued in pre-New York. And now this is New York Open time. And I think if we start ranging in New York Open, then we may range in NYC as well. So let's see what happens. The most interesting thing I'm waiting for are interest rates on the euro. On the euro, it's going to be interesting here. Can you take a look at this chart for USD CAD? Oh, if you send it, we'll take a look at it. All right, boys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get some coffee for this interest rates, and we'll see what happens here. I had my banana since morning too, didn't eat it. All right, lads. We are back. Okay, let's see how this closes. Okay, let's take a look here. Hey, I feel like my Forex learning journey is all over the place. Do you have suggestions how to structure my learning, like how many hours to simulate, how many hours to watch content? I think the first thing you have to do is you need to create a plan, and the plan is going to revolve around your day. So basically what's going to happen is you will start to see that, okay, what times of the day are going to be best suited for me to trade, right? Like for myself, I think from 6:30 till 9 a.m., that's the best time I can trade, right? And and the second thing you need to do is you need to start doing analysis, start sharing charts in the chat. If you feel like you're shy to post charts in the chat, you can send charts to me directly as well. It's not for the gulag, this is only for the members, right? So you can send that to me as well, so that that's how your learning is going to start. Because once you do your analysis, right, let's say you look at your JPY, hypothetically speaking, and you're like, okay, you know what, looking at your JPY, if we form a support, we should continue moving up. And let's say that's the analysis you do for the day. Now, if price does go up, you make a journal, and in that journal you say, okay, you know what, I expected this to happen because of these different aspects of price action, and it did happen. So then you can use that information into the next day, and when the next time that setup happens again, you're going to remember this win, and then you're going to execute on it again. Now, this setup will have a probability of winning and losing as well. Now, if, let's say, your analysis does not play out, let's say price goes the opposite way, stops you out, and it's a losing trade, then you can say that, okay, if this was a losing trade, how could I have been on the winning side, right? Even though if I took a loss, how could I have taken a winning trade? What things could I have seen in price action at that time that would have told me that, hey, like, you know what, this is not a buy, it's a sell, and I could have taken that sell. So then that's going to be your learning phase, right? Because now you're learning from a losing trade and you're taking that information into the next day, because the same situation is going to happen again, and you're going to remember what happened the last time, and then you're going to be better prepared for that, right? When it comes towards learning, how much time you should dedicate to learning, I think learning comes from the trades you take, whether they're winning trades or losing trades. The concepts in the webinars are something that's really going to make you understand, like, price action, what to look for in candles, like, how to effectively use stop losses with dynamic risk and all that stuff. So I think for the first month, you should only focus on doing your analysis and seeing how your analysis are playing out, and then relating that to the unlearn and relearn section, right? So I think when it comes towards simulating, I only do, like, let's say 2 hours a week. That's it. 2 hours a week simulation session. I think that's more than enough. But most of learning I do is when I go back through charts and I re-watch what happened during that day. Like revision. So we got about 1 minute left over here, 1.5 minutes, yeah, almost like 1 minute left over here for interest rates. And let's see how we move on that. Any thoughts on USD CAD? I think I entered too early, didn't wait for the last red retest candle. I think you need to send a chart. You send a chart, and then we're going to look at that chart, and then we're going to give you some, then we can kind of see like what your analysis is. All right. Wow, gold is continuing on from 1876. Continuing on, broke below 1871. Wow, continuing down over here. Crazy. All right, 2 seconds. See, if we break these highs, we should continue moving up. If we don't move in this 15-minute time frame, the real move, I think, is going to come with the press conference here, like what they actually say like what their policy is going forward after these rates right here. Oh, this is at 9:30. Is that and NYC open in 45 minutes. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is, what do you think about my chart? Thanks. Okay, bearish H pattern. First time I've seen an H pattern here on the 4-hour time frame formed after bearish momentum. Expect this to continue lower. This is GU 4-hour chart. It's at the support, so you're right. I mean, if we break the support, then we should continue moving down. You know, so I think what you'll need to do is to look at the small time frames and to see if it's really breaking down and forming like a minor resistance to continue or not. But your JPY, this 15-minute candle, this is a news candle. Nothing really has happened at this point, so probably they're waiting for the 4-hour candle to close here. 4-hour candle is going to close, and the way it's closing rejecting a support, right? So if you look to the left hand side on daily, this is support that we were talking about. It's right over here. And if what I've seen is correct, that with every time we've had interest rates, they've had they've had an optimistic approach towards the interest rates at the press conference, that has moved the euro bullish. And I think we've reached a higher time frame technical level of support. Looking on the 4-hour, 4-hour is about to close. Looking at the 1-hour, 1-hour is closing bullish in 13 minutes, creating a support. So I think based on that, I think it should continue moving bullish. You know, don't quote me on that, but if we break below the support, then obviously we're going to go down. But for it to go up, it needs to respect the support, so to speak. So let's see how far that support is. That's like 15 pips away, not that bad. 15, 16 pips away. Some trade continuations, some trade breakouts, some trade retracement. What works for you? Trade what works for you. For me, what works the most are, I would say, impulse entries. And the reason I say impulse entries is because those are the entries I've missed a lot, because I focused a lot on GPJPY. And when you're focusing on a currency pair that is extremely volatile, it has a lot of volume. And when it breaks zones, it doesn't always do retests. You know, so based on those probabilities, I've been more successful on impulse entries. But that has come after being good at, like, you know, waiting for candles to close outside of zones. So that's the first step you need to do, like actually wait for candles to close, actually miss and sit out on impulse entries. You know, because the more entries you sit out on, or the more entries you win, the more you're going to be able to look back and say that, okay, how could I have taken that entry? You know, if I missed this trade, if this trade didn't do a retest, what could I have seen in the chart for me to say, okay, you know what? This is the point where I could have, like, you know, just had an entry at that point. In the same way, if someone had buys at 1880 or 1881 on gold, then it made logical sense to have stop losses at around 1876, because if we broke below 1876, we have a clean traffic right here on the left. So I think having stops at 1876 would have made much more sense. And then you could have actually, like, you know, I mean, we called it from 1876 coming down towards 1881, 71. And now it's just going down to Pound Town. Pound Town. Oh wow, look, it's moving bullish over here. Yeah, it should continue up to at least, you know, 122, 300, 15 pips away, 17 pips away. Let's take a look here. All right, GJ, 30-minute. We have support previously. If price respects this high, confirming resistance formed. Once low is broken, price should head down. Yes, that's correct. Once support is broken, we should continue down. But if we create like a resistance here, then I wouldn't be able. I don't know. I mean, if we form, okay, let's bring it down over here, right? If price starts forming a resistance at this point, then essentially price is just in a 14 to 15 pip range. You know, if you form a resistance here, it's not going to be a good idea to take a sell because support is right there and this is a 13, 14 pip range. A better idea would be to wait for a break below 134.880. But if you look on the 1 hour time frame, that
It looks very similar to
Yeah.
the previous setup.
previous setup.
Yeah, the one that weak 1 hour close
Mm.
and take it on the break of the low.
hmm Yeah,
Depends on
exactly.
how it-
Exactly. But now when we look on the 1 hour time frame, we had a support here. Now our range becomes a little bit bigger, right? But it's still in the range, still like a 15 to 18 pip range, you know. So if I would be looking for more sells, I would look for sells below this area here. Support. Hey, can you bring Q Banks to the live stream? Yeah, we had them. We had him like a year and a half ago. We can have him again. You know, I'll see if we can make that happen or not. You know, so far we're gonna have Funding Talent as a guest tomorrow. They're a funding firm from Nova Scotia. We had them before. We're gonna have them again. So if you guys have any questions regarding like funding accounts or how they operate, that's going to be a really good time when you can like ask questions and stuff. Once GJ breaks the support, I got targets of 600. What do you think? Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at weekly. So first target is down at 134.800, right? That's where the weekly candle basically opened. Yeah, this is the last week of September. Looking on the daily, that's also the same daily area right there. Then looking on the 4 hour, okay, let's remove this gray zone from here for a little bit and let's go left to the 4 hour time frame. So looking at the 4 hour, this was a potential resistance because look, this is where price gapped up. You look at the date, 25th September, price opened back on Sunday evening, 27th September, gapped up to this price, 134.780. So when price gapped up and came down from here, this has to be some sort of a zone, which is why it rejected this area. And if you look left over here, 4 hour candle on 25th around pre-London rejected this area as well. So that's why I'm kind of like putting this area into perspective, that maybe this is a support, which was resistance, and then this next support right here in the 4 hour time frame. So 134.400, and then you got 134.800. So 134.800 is like 20 pips away. It's not that far away. Kind of like tapped into there as well. For your thoughts on using a lot of indication tools as confirmation on a buy or sell. See, the thing is, it's like the same thing, right? Let's say if you want to purchase a car. Let's say you want to purchase a car and the only person's opinion you need is yourself. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get my own opinion. If I want to buy this car, I'm going to go buy this car. But then if you include, let's say, some other people, if you include some other people in the same discussion, now you have other people's opinions as well. And now it seems like you have to respect everyone's opinion as well. Like if you're going to say, you're going to buy this car, and someone's going to say, hey, no, man, don't buy this car, buy the other car. And now you're kind of like swaying off of the original opinion, right? Then you talk to a third person, he says something else, so now you have different opinions here. The same thing, I think the indicators, they work the same way. Right? If you're only watching price action and price action says, okay, price is going to probably range or price is just going to go down or go up, you're like, okay, awesome. Like, you know what? That's a pretty good indicator. Like, let's say right over here. You say that, okay, once we break below 1876, there's a very high probability price is going to go down, right? But if you're Iron Man and if you have some special indicators and maybe that indicator is telling you that, hey, price is going to go up at this point. So now you're kind of like swaying off of your original analysis that you had, right? So at the end of the day, like if you're using a bunch of indicators, first of all, you really need to trust your own gut. You need to trust your own instinct first, right? If you think a certain move is going to happen past a certain point and you really trust it, and if you've seen it happen, and then when you introduce indicators into that mix, and if those indicators have the same confluence, then you're like, okay, like, you know what? It works perfect. It's bound to happen. But like when you introduce indicators, it's the same thing. Like some indicators are going to like, talk against price action. Like it's going to be a lot of contradiction at that point. So, which is why I only focus on price action and the way candles move. I think it's very simple. And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if you don't find any trade, all you can do is just wait. Just wait for the next time candles print a way that you recognize. And to be honest, the kind of patterns that are printed on, let's say right over here, let's say on the 1 hour time frame on GJ, you can see here at 135.400 we came all the way down towards 135. This pattern here, candle closed bullish, bearish, next one broke the low and continued on. These same patterns happen on the weekly time frames as well, on the monthly time frames as well. Look here on the weekly, right? Yesterday we came down to fill this wick after we broke below the weekly low right over here. Same patterns. They happen on all the time frames. The only difference is that as you move up the higher time frames, your stop losses become larger. That's the only difference, right? And then it just comes down to the point: are you really open to hold positions through the stops and stuff? If Ivanka Trump dropped in, we're gonna ignore that.
Really?
Man. I have a very spontaneous nature, and when I read things, I read them spontaneously. And as I was reading, I'm like, oh, gotta stop right there. Gotta stop right there. I hope this isn't a stupid question from a newbie. Do you have a mindset that allows you to let go of stress while trading? I'm only trading with a small account and I still get stressed over 30 pence. I think the mindset should be, as long as you're only taking 1 or 2 trades, you should be perfectly fine. There should be no stress if you're taking 1 trade. So let's imagine this, right? You come to the day, you're like, okay, you know what? I have a, let's say, $200 account, right? Let's say someone has, okay, let's say someone has a $400 account, and they come to the charts. They're like, okay, I have a $400 account, and on this day, the maximum loss I'm gonna take is gonna be, let's say, $40. You go with $40. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to risk 10%, $40, whatever. And you come to the charts, right? You start trading. You take your first loss. That loss brings you down to negative $20, whatever. You take a second trade, and second trade brings you down to a loss of negative $44. Now, this is where your emotions are tested. This is where your character is tested. Are you going to respect your rules and say, okay, hey, you know what? I lost $44. Am I going to call it a day at this point? Or am I going to try to make that loss back, right? That's what you're going to do. So when you try to make that loss back, then you're going to take a 3rd trade, and then you're going to take a 4th trade. And with every trade you're taking, you're risking more and more to lose more and more. And when you go down that path, that's where you start to get anxious. That's where you start to get anxiety. You start to get stress. But if you lost $44 and then you're like, okay, you know what? I risked $40. I lost $44. I think it's time for me to call it a day, and I'm going to come back tomorrow. And while you go back and come back tomorrow, now tomorrow you come back with a fresh mind, right? So that's where the difference is between having stressful trading and having stress-free trading. So I think here every morning we basically we show you the way to have stress-free trading, man. You come here, you have fun. Sometimes you miss moves. Sometimes you execute on moves. Man, sometimes you take losses. Like this week, Monday I took a loss. I took a loss on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday have been amazing days. Week before last week, I took a loss on Monday, and then I took a loss on Tuesday. And then we took wins. I took wins Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So losses are part of the game. Losses basically, okay, the loss I took was very simple. It was the same mistake I made previously. And that mistake was, I don't know if I can find it here. Yeah, one was right over here. Yeah, right over here. Candles made a high right here. This candle came down, candle formed support, expected next candle to go up, but you know, what I didn't realize was that there was a resistance made right over here at 137. And if you measure this range, even from my entry, this was like a 7-8 pip range, you know. So that was one mistake I made. I traded in a very, very small range, and I made this mistake before, and now I'm never going to make that mistake again. You know, because at that time we think that price is going to do a certain thing, right? You know, like we see things move and we're like, okay, like, you know what, we think this is going to break. So what you're going to notice is that whenever you've traded based on what you've thought price is going to go, most times you've always lost at that point. You've always lost at that point. But like, you know, so there's a big difference between trading what you think and trading what you see. Because what we saw in gold was like sells below 1876. I wasn't sure it's going to drop below 1871, but it did drop. Wow, look at that. Now it's coming into this really, really, really strong daily rejection zone. Crazy. The Illuminati guy was right. Yes. That Illuminati guy was Ted. Because there was a message said, sell gold, live life. You know, and then I saw gold and I'm like, yeah, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. That basically made sense. And another confluence was Iron Man trading in buys. I'm just joking. Thank you for your insights. I've just started becoming consistently profitable following your stream, and my plan need to accept losses and move on. Yep, that's true. Wow, we're coming down. This is the start of the new 4-hour candle on your JPY. I think if your JPY is going to continue moving up, 4-hour should break this high and then start to correct this move all the way up. Because as we're moving into, because this is the thing, right? In this press conference, we don't know what they're going to say. They can even talk about Brexit as well, and that could move the market too. So so there's a lot of uncertainty here. We don't know. And every time when the EU starts talking about Brexit, that's negative for the pound. And whenever, like, you know, people from the GP, they talk about Brexit, it's always positive for the pound. Like, that's what I've seen so far, like with the spikes that do happen. What do you think? That short move on gold was a fake out of the daily zone? Actually, we're moving into the daily zone on gold. If you look on the daily here. See this? Look, previously, 23rd September, 24th, 25th, 26th, we rejected this daily area right over here. Now, as the daily candle is coming down, we don't know how far it's going to wick into, because look, the daily candle here, it was the first candle to wick into the 1850s area, and the next candle wicked below that area but closed above. This one also wicked down, closed above, wicked down, and went bullish. So as it's coming down, we don't know how far it's going to go down, but we do know that this is the zone where it wicked before. You know, so it's kind of like we can use that as confluence, that okay, as we're coming down, it may wick down over here. You know, so when is it going to wick? We don't know that. What you can do is you can have a buy with no stop loss, and then eventually it's going to go up. US 30 lost about 400 pips from last night. Oh yes, US 30 ran a train. US 30 ran a train. It's just now we're starting to retrace a little bit. If GP sneezes like this when a couple of Brexit headlines come out, just imagine the year end when it's ramping up in the news. Oh man, this is going to be insane, because they'll come to a decision early December, and wow, it's going to be an amazing end to the year. We got holidays, we got elections, we got the vaccine optimism, we got so many things here. Crazy. Never seen a year end like this. I've never seen this volatile year end. You know, maybe the 2008 crisis was a volatile year end, obviously, you know, but I think this is the second most volatile end of the year. If GJ formed a resistance, can we expect to go further down? See, I think if we break the support below 134, 870, 880, then we can continue to move down. For the residents outside of the USA, who do you think has a greater chance at becoming the next president? In my opinion, I think, I don't know, man. There could be I don't know. It's very uncertain. I mean, I want Trump to come back, but then again, there could be an upset and Joe Biden can come back. Who knows? Like, I've seen that Joe Biden's going to raise taxes in the US. So I don't know how many people would like that to happen, but yeah, I wouldn't want to pay more tax, you know.
That's not gonna happen, man. Trust.
Yeah, really?
It's not gonna happen.
Like the percentages that they were talking about, you don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Because that's a lot.
How much people in the U.S. makes over $400,000 a year?
Yeah,
that's the question.
But yeah, that's the question.
The problem is to do that. That law must pass through the Supreme Court, in my opinion, because right now the Republican Party is the one who's governing the Supreme Court, the Senate. So basically, if the law passed through Nancy Pelosi, it's not gonna happen in the Senate. So it's gonna be a big battle between Joe Biden and Republican Party, because there's a lot of millionaires, you know, and they're not gonna be paying more taxes just because Biden wants to.
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be a tough ride.
Imagine if you told people like Ted, okay, Ted, you have to pay more taxes because you have this company in this in US. Easily Ted can say, okay, I'm not gonna pay more taxes. I'm gonna move to another country, and I'm gonna move my capital to another country. So it's to be honest, it's really hard to think that the taxes are gonna be raised for this thing.
You know, maybe that's like a campaign being run by the Trump, their supporters. What are they? Republicans? The Republicans? Or Democrats?
Yeah, it's Republicans. It's basically the same as when Trump said, for the wall, Mexico is gonna pay for the wall. That was to bring more supporters, but. If you're smart enough, you know that Mexico's not gonna pay for that shit.
That was actually hilarious, you know, when he came in with that. We're gonna build a wall. Guess who's gonna pay for it? Mexico. That's what he did. Mexico.
And all the Trump supporters believe him too. I see he's still in the. That's a whole different story.
What? He's still in the White House?
Nah, man, he got that money from I forgot, there was some reserve cash that he took to build.
Who, Manafort?
Trump.
Oh, Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a Joe Biden supporter here. Oh, yeah. I don't know. There's always the two sides to the coin, right? I mean. If Trump comes, Trump's good in certain ways. If Biden comes, Biden's good in certain ways. We can never have the best of both worlds.
Trump is just, to me, man, he just says a whole bunch of nonsense. He's a liar.
He's a businessman.
I can't support that.
He's a businessman. What do you expect? Whole sort of nonsense all the time.
He's a joke, man. Then put then put an ape in the office to run, man, because they could just say, we're going to give the whole country free bananas.
Yeah. But look at it this way, right? I was looking at the stats. There has been no wars since Trump has been in the office. 0 wars. No wars at all.
Wasn't there some country in the Middle East fighting each other?
They're fighting each other, man. But like the U.S. hasn't been involved directly in the wars. Like
because he's putting puppy, man. He's putting puppy.
Who?
Trump.
No, because he realizes that if we have a war with these countries in the Middle East, which we have nothing to do with, we're saving money at that time, right? We're saving lives, we're saving money. Because, man, think about all the innocent people who get killed during these wars.
What are you talking about, Roger?
So-called wars. What do you mean?
Look at Iran. Look at Iran. This guy was ready to start a war with Iran. He was just ready to press the button.
No,
still bombing
he got under pressure. He got under pressure to fight that. But then what happened? China interfered, and then boom, the C word virus came in.
Man, I just wanted my bananas.
Then the virus came in. There has been no war at all. Like, when Obama was in, you had a whole, Iraq and the Syria thing happening. When Bush was here, Afghanistan, holy. There were like wars everywhere.
But Bush is Republican.
But it was a different scenario, man. Trust.
No,
after 9/11, everything changed.
That's a whole
another conspiracy. Just let me say this
conspiracy.
out loud and clear, okay?
Okay.
When Trump first came around, I was all for Trump. He's not a politician, right? I wanted something different. But when he started with all this rhetoric and all this hate and dividing the country, like, how can you support someone like that? If there's I don't care if it's a Republican, Democrat, Independent, if there's a next party that's in the White House that's a businessman and he's for the people or he's uniting the country, I will vote for him any day. Any day. But Trump is not that guy. He's a businessman, but he's not that guy. The country literally was burning. And the guy didn't say anything. There's a civil war amongst us, man. And you guys are
When was this?
Huh?
When
When
was
all
this?
these riots and protests is going on. He's instigating it. The country, I've never seen this ever in the US. Ever. Protests in every state.
I
Come
think
on, people.
I think these were politically motivated because like it started from that guy, right, who got killed, and then they moved into the defunding of police. And when they started talking about that, I started to think, so now that's my perspective, right? I started to think, okay, if you defund the police, who's going to be there to like patrol the streets? Like, like sometimes let's say, oh, like, they're extremely tough, but like when you defund the police, there's going to be, man, that's just, I just thought that's crazy.
That's another.
That's the next issue. But if you look in these third world countries, like, I understand, like, everyone wants to defund the police, but they don't understand that you need the police in place. Like, I'm black. I've been beat up by the police. I've been beat, literally beat unconscious by the police. Yes, I still hate cops, but defunding the police is not the right way to go. We need some type of policies in place to make stricter rules for the police. Like, if you go to these third world countries where there's not a lot of police, you see how high the crime rate is. You know what I mean? Take, for instance, Jamaica. Jamaica doesn't have a large police force. The crime rate in Jamaica in some areas are high because they can't respond fast enough in certain areas. So, but defunding police is not the right way to go. They need stricter policies. Like a guy with a knife. Why are you going to shoot him 10 times? A guy with a knife that's 20 feet away from you or 10 feet away from you. Does that make any sense? Use a damn taser. Mace him. It's one guy against 5 cops. Come on.
No, you
How
know
can
what
your life be in danger?
You know what the thing is? The thing is, I have a friend, he's in the police force, right? And he says, whenever we go to a call, it's like a ritual. Like it's like we're getting ready, like we're getting hyped up to go to this call, right? And when you're getting hyped up, I think psychologically, like if you're between like a certain group, psychologically something changes, and then I think you're more impulsive to take action. So I think that's when these things happen. So yeah, it's a very deep discussion over there.
Anyways, politics, it doesn't matter unless there's a person that's completely selfish. Even if he's a businessman, he's still going to be for himself anyways, because people are just selfish at the end of the day. They all for their self in some form or fashion. That's why, you need to be a full-time trader, because we make our own rules no matter what the economy does.
Yes, we get
At the end of the day, you got to be a full-time trader.
That's Kevon for president right there.
You know what? To be honest,
politicians are like indicators. They don't work.
Right, we don't need them.
It does, yeah.
If Trump wins, I know I'm gonna start looking for sells on gold. I know that. If Biden wins, I'm gonna start looking for buys on gold. I know that much. Because that happened the last time, I think it's gonna happen again. So we'll see what happens. There's a 21-foot rule, the amount of time someone can run towards you versus how quick you can pull out your gun. Yeah, I'm not getting stabbed either.
So my police brutality story, if everyone wants to hear it, right? Since you guys are saying I'm not cooperating. So I was 14 years old. Two police officers respond to one of my friends. Was doing something in the neighborhood. He was causing like some chaos or whatever. So they went up to my friend's house or whatever, and we was out there standing around, right? And my friend told the lady cop, he's gonna sperm her down, right? He's gonna sperm her down. So we're like 13,
no
14,
way.
right?
He's a kid. He's a little kid.
So,
I'm gonna sperm you down.
So basically, my friend, right? The lady cop like took him up to his mom and told him what happened, and then I'm still watching everything going on or whatever, and this cop, I'll never forget his name. His name was Jay Luce. He told me to go upstairs, right? And his partner, Steve. So as I turned my back to go upstairs, which he gave me a command, right? And that's to show you that's why most Black people or minorities, when the cops give them command, they're scared to do certain things. As he gave me the command, I'll turn my back, walking away. All I hear, he's running. I'm like, what the hell? My back is turning. I'm hearing he's running. All I felt was two guys tackling me, beating the shit out of me, right? Drag me, rip my clothes, pounce my head into concrete. I'm unconscious. I wake up in handcuffs in the back of a police car. All I'm hearing, okay, nigga, we're about to drown you today. This is as I'm coming around. So they take me, and good thing my brother just turned 16 at the time. My parents is upstairs. He jumps in their car to follow them because these cops literally that day was planning to kill me. So in my area, there was a lot of kids that was being drowned by the police, and that was a thing at the time.
Oh, so that was like their own thing.
Yeah. So that was like the thing of the time. And my brother jumped in my parents' car, and he followed me to the precinct. And let me tell you what, when I went up in front of a judge, the judge threw out everything that they charged me for. He was like, you're just a little kid. How can you be resisting arrest and beating up two cops? They lied on that doc. He threw out everything. That didn't even hit my record. The judge expunged it right on the spot. Like,
how much did you weigh at that time? Do you remember?
I probably weighed like about 90 to 100 pounds, man. I'm a little guy.
The judge would have seen you. He's like, yeah, no way. You know?
So, and I tell you, like, the hate that I have for cop, if my auntie was a cop and she got shot, I wouldn't shed a tear.
Yeah.
Like, this is the trauma that I sustained, you know? So for me, like at the same time, I'm saying defunding the police is not the right way, although I do hate the police, but it'll just be chaos, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, I think sometimes the authority is not policed enough. That's the thing. Like, if there were stricter punishment or repercussions other than being suspended for a month, I think less and less of these things would happen.
I think the problem with America is that it's so easy to become a cop. Like, when you look at other countries, you can't just be a cop. It is not that easy. Like in America, what is it, like 8-10 weeks training? Whereas in England and that, it's years. Some countries like Sweden, you have to have a degree.
Yeah, in Canada too now. You have to go to school.
To be a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a lot more. The selection's a lot harder. It's the same as the army. Like, they don't just let anybody go in the army running around with a gun. So why did they do it with the police?
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna head off over here. It's been a wonderful day here with gold cells and GPGPY cells, and really expecting your GPY. I mean, if your GPY moves up, it's going to be awesome, but not really counting on it. Okay, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have a guest tomorrow morning. It's going to be someone from Funding Talent, and it's going to be a fun day tomorrow. And
yeah, Marcus going to have fun.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. A vote for me as a write-in. I put my name on it. Vote for Mac 2020.
Where are we voting?
You could ask for a write-in like Kanye did.
Oh, okay.
So everyone has to type in their name, like write it in.
Perfect, man. My month has ended today.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow we're just gonna shoot the shit, hang around, and that's it.
Very nice, man.
And then the race starts towards November, and then that's it. The year ends.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, I'm really, really excited about Tuesday. Really excited to see who wins. Because whoever wins, I think November is going to be a massive month. I think so. I think, November could be a massive, massive month. The boiling point of Brexit is boiling at that time as well. You know, like fresh new contender is going to come in, or the current contender is going to stay in the office. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
Fun.
It's going to be fun times.
All right, guys, enjoy.
All right, enjoy.
Bye,
take care. See you.
Take care. See you.
Gracias. Shukriya.